Dear students, we'll continue with further part of Module 2. Now we'll discuss about CSMA/CD. The CSMA method, what we have studied in the previous lecture, it does not specify the procedure following a collision. Okay, then to handle the collision, the algorithm must be augmented, so it is carrier sense multiple SS with collision detection, in short called CSMA/CD. This augments the algorithm to handle the collision. What is this method is, a station monitors the medium after it sends a frame to see if the transmission was successful. If the transmission is successful, the station is finished. If, however, there is a collision, then transmission is not successful, the frame is sent again. Okay, so frame is sent again if there is a collision. Then, if we want to understand CSMA/CD in a better manner, we will have a look at the first bits transmitted by the two stations involved in the collision. Here, although each station continues to send bits in the frame until it detects a collision, we are going to show what happens as the first bits collide. So there is a figure. In that figure, it shows stations A and C are involved in the collision. So there are two stations, station A and C, which are involved in the collision. So we'll see that with this diagram. So this diagram is showing four stations: A, station A, station B, station C, station D. Then out of four stations, station A and C are involved in the collision. How it is, we'll see now. At time t1, so here it is time t1. At time t1, station A has executed its persistence procedure and starts sending the bits of its frame. At time t2, station C has not yet sensed the first bit sent by station A. So what station C will do? It executes its persistence procedure and starts sending the bits in its frame, which will propagate both to the left and to the right. Then here you can see at time t2, station C has started sending. Then after time t2, the collision occurs after some time. That after time t2. Then that station C detects a collision at time t3. You can see here. At this time t3, station C will detect a collision at time t3 when it receives the first bit of A's transmitted by station A. When it receives the first bit of A's frame. Okay, what station C will immediately do is, it aborts transmission. When it detects collision, it aborts transmission. Then station A detects collision at time t4. You can see here at time t4, station A will detect a collision when it receives the first bit of C's frame. When it receives the first bit of C's frame, it also immediately aborts transmission. Then if we see that A transmits for the duration T4 minus T1. This is the duration T4 minus T1. For this duration, station A transmits. Then you can see station C transmits for the duration T3 minus T2. Okay. Now we can show a more complete graph. We know the time duration for the two transmissions. So you can see collision and abortion in CSMA/CD. So you can see part of A's frame, part of C's frame. So you can see part of A's frame, part of C's frame. This is part of C's frame. This is part of A's frame. You can see here collision occurs. Here collision is detected by station C and it aborts. You can see here station it detects collision and it aborts here at this time. Next we'll discuss about minimum frame size. If the CSMA CD has to work, then there is a need to have restriction on the frame size. Okay, so the sending station must detect a collision before sending the last bit of the frame. So if there is any and abort the transmission, if any and abort the transmission. This is so because the station, once the entire frame is sent, does not keep a copy of the frame and does not monitor the line for collision detection. Therefore, the frame transmission time TFR must be at least 2 times the maximum propagation time TP. So, there is a need to understand this reason. To understand this reason, we'll think about the worst case scenario. If the two stations involved in a collision are the maximum distance apart, the signal from the first takes time TP to reach the second, and the effect of the collision takes another time TP to reach the first. What is the requirement is that the first station must still be transmitting after 2 TP. There is an example. What is that example is a network using CSMA/CD has a bandwidth of 10 Mbps. If the maximum propagation time is 25.6 microsecond, what is the minimum size of the frame? Solution. The minimum frame transmission time is TFR equal to 2 into TP, which is 51.2 microsecond. What does this mean is that a station needs to transmit for a period of 51.2 microsecond to detect the collision in the worst case. The minimum size of the frame is 10 Mbps into 51.2 microsecond, which is 512 bits or 64 bytes. This is actually the minimum size of the frame for standard Ethernet. Next we'll see about the procedure. That is nothing but the flow diagram for CSMA CD. This is similar to the one for the Aloha protocol, but there are some differences. First we'll see the diagram, then we'll see the differences. You see here, station has a frame to send, then set k equal to 0. After setting k is equal to 0, apply one of the persistence method. Then check for a condition. What is the condition to check? Done or collision. Okay. Done or collision is a condition to be checked. If done or collision is true or false. If it is false, then transmit and receive. If it is true, again check for a condition. Collision detected. If it is true, send a jamming signal. If it is false, success means the frame has been sent. If it is true, then send a jamming signal. After sending a jamming signal, increment k by 1, k equal to k plus 1. Then again check for a condition, is k less than 15. If it is true, then create random number r. If k is less than 15, it is false, then abort. Means k is more than 15, we cannot continue, so abort. If k is less than 15, true means still k is not 15. Then create random number r, wait TB seconds, then repeat the process from here. Okay, then now we'll see the differences. The differences between Aloha and CSMA CD. There are 3 differences. The first difference is the addition of the persistence process. So in this, what is done is, there is a need to sense the channel before we start sending the frame by using one of the persistent processes which have been described previously. Either it may be non-persistent, one persistent or p persistent. Then the second difference is the frame transmission. In case of Aloha, we first transmit the entire frame and then wait for an acknowledgement. In CSMA/CD, transmission and collision detection are continuous processes. Then the entire frame is not sent and then look for a collision. The station transmits and receives continuously and simultaneously. Then, to show that transmission is a continuous process, there is a need to use the loop. Then, in order to detect one of two conditions, there is a need to constantly monitor to detect one of the two conditions. What is that two condition is? Either transmission is finished or a collision is detected. Either event stops transmission. When we come out of the loop, if a collision has not been detected, it means the transmission is complete. The entire frame is transmitted. Otherwise, a collision has occurred. The third difference is the sending of a short jamming signal. Why we have to send the short jamming signal? To make sure that all other stations become aware of the collision. Next, we'll discuss about energy level. So, the level of energy in a channel can have three values: 0, normal, abnormal. At the 0 level, the channel is idle. Whereas at normal level, a station has successfully captured the channel and is sending its frame. At abnormal level, there is a collision and the level of energy is twice the normal level. A station that has a frame to send or is sending a frame needs to monitor the energy level to determine if the channel is idle, busy, or in collision mode. So, this is a figure showing the situation. Energy level during transmission, idleness, or collision. So, you can see the energy level during transmission, idleness, or collision. Okay, energy level during transmission, idleness, or collision. Here is frame transmission, here is idle, here is frame transmission. In this duration it is collision, you can see. Next, throughput. Okay, here we are going to discuss about throughput and traditional Ethernet. First we will discuss about throughput. The throughput of CSMA CD is greater than that of pure or slotted Aloha. The maximum throughput occurs at a different value of G and is based on the persistence method and the value of P in the P persistence approach. For the one persistent method, the maximum throughput is around 50% when G equal to 1. For the non-persistent method, the maximum throughput For the non-persistent method, the maximum throughput can go up to 90%. Sorry, I'll repeat. The maximum throughput occurs at a different value of G and is based on persistent method and the value of P in the P persistent approach. If it is one persistent method, the maximum throughput is around 50% when G equal to 1. For non-persistent method, the maximum throughput can go up to 90% when G is between 3 and 8. Next, we'll discuss about traditional Ethernet. The CSMA CD was being used by one of the LAN protocols is the traditional Ethernet, that too with the data rate of 10 Mbps. Okay, 10 Mbps. Then the traditional Ethernet was a broadcast LAN that used the one persistent method to control access to the common media. Then whatever are the later versions of Ethernet, they tried to move from CSMA CDSS method. Next we'll discuss about